When does the path we walk on become clear to us? When does everything start making sense? The time when we find out who we truly are. Everyone has his purpose in this world, big or small. The world can't function without it. But very few who truly give it their all don't just change the world, but impact the generations to come. They inspire, teach, and pave the way to the ones after them, to make the world even a much better place. They shine the light on all of the darkness. Everyone has the ability to become one of those, but very few even give it a try. And Goku is one of those who didn't just change his world and his time, but his influence will go even further. He has become a legend which will never be forgotten. But he's not the first one to change everything. One Saiyan who lived before him did it. A Saiyan who lived on Beerus' home planet called Taima. And this is his story, which we explored before. In the last chapter we saw him achieve new heights, and the battle for the planet is still ongoing. But how will it all unfold? How will this Saiyan achieve his purpose and become the Saiyan of legends? This is the story of chapter 9 of Dragon Ball Infinity, the story of the original Divine Saiyan. As it all starts where we ended the last part, with the pharaoh meeting Appu, which is one who knows the original god of this planet. He's not that worried about Garura. Garura is the creator of this world. We've seen him in the last chapter. As he said, all they need is a few more souls to bring Noob's spirit back to its full power. Appu is sure that the souls who had showed up before have a large amount of ki that they will need. When Noob tricked Sunset, the chaos within that fusion became the new source of power. So the more negative emotion that the soul have, the more power it will give Noob. And this is why he says that those four will be enough. And the pharaoh agrees. He will return to the city to keep their prisoner alive. And their prisoner is Taima's mother. And you don't mess with one of the Saiyan's family. And he will find out why soon. Back to the city of the pharaoh. We see that his soldiers are all down, injured and tired. But the seal is working on them. They must keep fighting. The pharaoh seeing them is angry at the results. So he charges his ki and destroys all of the city in one attack, taking all of their souls to his possession to revive Noob, one of the original beings on this planet, the one who can destroy it and bring chaos all over. So he sacrificed the city to his goal. In a bar in the city, we see the inhabitants there. As we look closer, we spot one who looks different than all. As they see him, they call him the Banished One. But who is this guy now? We will know. He starts talking and explaining about him. He says, finally, the day has come. All of you need to know the pharaoh isn't at all who he says he is. When he was banished to the desert, he decided to walk into the pharaoh's chamber while he was supposed to be powering the city. And he was asleep. He had a huge pile of barrels behind him, which connected to his throne, powering the city. He woke him up, and the pharaoh could feel his presence. He removed his crown and revealed his mark. He then brought him to the desert. Luckily, the Thoth saved him. So this is the first one who have seen the pharaoh's true identity. But as soon as he finishes talking, someone with a great power comes in. The Banished One doesn't know who he is, but the others know. This is Yonka's adopted son, Taima, but he looks different. And we see him, he's angry. He's asking for his mother. He can't sense her nearby. And this is what I was saying. He's not sensing his mother. This is why he's losing his mind and his power is releasing. His friend tells him that he looked for her but still couldn't find her. And the Banished One reveals himself as being Taima's grandfather. He's his mother's father. And this makes Taima a lot more mad than before, because his mother looked for her father for a long time and thought at the end that he was dead. And he was just here, didn't come looking for her. He says, I could have been killed. Taima's a lot different than him. He says, I would happily die for her. I don't have time for this. As he storms off, I'm going to do what you should have done long ago. I'm going to find her. I don't agree with this one, since not everyone is as strong as Taima, so even her father can do anything that he wants. If he gave his life for nothing, just trying to save her, what's the purpose of it then? We go back to the pharaoh. He and Apu are still plotting. Apu tells him that the well is ready for him. He should jump in, but the pharaoh can't. He gets a flashback to the time with the thought, when they were on a boat above the water and a giant monster came from down under them, the same one that Taima fought before. This led to the pharaoh falling into it, and the thought went there and got him out. But that memory of the water still haunts the pharaoh. He's looking at the source of all of the power that he needs, everything that will make him the strongest there is, but he's still afraid. Taima's friend asks him, what happened to you? You're different. He explains what happened, that the thought made him destroy the fountain of the gods, but in return something happened to him. He's gotten this raw ancient power. It feels like the sun is burning in his chest, and he could only control it with meditation. And he himself knows that he's still not stable. When he feels anger, he can also feel it starting to slip out. But he has no choice. He has to maintain control. He knows where he's gonna head off now. He's feeling sinister energy and he's going to follow it. He knows his mother is there. His grandfather comes and says that he wants to go with him, but Taima doesn't allow him to do that. He's just gonna slow him down. He might have been a warrior back then, but now he's in no shape to handle what's ahead. It's too late to help. Taima just flies away, heading to his mother's location. He arrives there, mad at all what's going on. He drops down with all of the power he has, with his full Super Saiyan God form. In all of the ruins, Taima's power is immense. He looks beside him as one of the warriors attack him. He gets serious as the attacks keep coming at him one after the other, but Taima is dodging all of their attacks. The four that the pharaoh needs. Taima just smiles at the battle as all four of them go at him at once. Before reaching him, Taima teleports and attacks all of them with attacks that sends them away. They have fallen beneath the pharaoh's feet. Soon, this power will be mine, but I don't think I need to defeat you. We see Taima, he just can't control himself since the pharaoh has taken his mother. Just takes his robe off and throws it at the pharaoh. The pharaoh goes at Taima with a direct attack. As he takes his fighting stand, Taima delivers a punch on the pharaoh. The pharaoh is just weaker now, and Taima tells him that he can't defeat him anymore. He's gonna make him pay for everything. The pharaoh has different plans. He's the king of this planet, and he will not be defeated this easily. Taima just smiles as he uses his hand and brings his robe back to the pharaoh, sealing him. Now he's guarding him, but he has forgot one thing, Apu. He tells him not so fast. Let the fool out or else. He's holding Taima's mother. If he doesn't release the pharaoh, he's gonna take her out. And Taima is not gonna let that happen. He holds his hand up and tells him to let his mother go. Apu is not gonna do that. Any trick and his mother is done for. So he releases the pharaoh. Apu yells at him and tells him to go and claim his power, or he will never win. He rushes towards the water and stands above it. He's still worried, afraid of it, but he musters all of his courage and jumps straight in it, beginning to see his darkness. The pharaoh is transcended from it, changed, looking more like a wolf. We see him fully transformed. He says, Garuru, the god, is calling the god of this planet. He rises up and says, I'm not the fool you've been dealing with. He's gone. Only his body remains, and it belongs to me now. He has become the spirit of Noob. His power is residing inside of him. He doesn't think that he needs all of these henchmen. They are no longer necessary. As he takes all of their souls, they are now his. So what will Taima do now? How will he transcend above noob? How will he prove himself to become the legend that will save the entire universe? This was the story of the original divine Saiyan, the story of Taima, and chapter 9 of the story of Dragon Ball Infinity. What is meant to be will always be. So when you're chosen to be a legend that will change the world, no matter what comes in front of you or who tries to stop you, you will fulfill that legend. And this story was of that, the story of the divine Saiyan, Taima. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. If you could follow me on Twitter, I will really appreciate it. So go on and follow me there. We could talk about anything. So go on there. Give it a shot. I mean go. You won't lose anything. But all in all, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, you could subscribe. Saying that, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.